Hi guys, I'm just going to do log equation today, just one question. Now the question is find the values of x. It's not just one value, values. So when we look at this, it said 2 log base 3x minus log base 3 x minus 2 equals 2. And we have to find the values of x. Okay, so when we look at this, you probably started to think, okay, it's a minus, so it's division. So I could just write a log base 3 x over x minus 2. Well, it's not that simple. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you or remind you the rules that you probably remember what it is. So when you have something like, say, log 3x minus log 3y, we can simplify that into 1 log 3x over y. You can write it like that. So that minus becomes division. If this was a plus, of course, it's going to be x times y. Now, all this is possible because they have the same base of 3. Now, we have a problem because we have this 2 in front of log. Okay, so you always have to have just 1. Okay, not nothing, 1. See, it's got a 1 there. So we had 1 here, 1 here. You just can't see it, that's all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this 2 on top of there. So it's going to be x squared. Now what I'm going to use is another formula. It looks like this. I'm going to put n log base a of b. That I can write log base a b to the power of n. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to put this into log base 3 x to the power 2 minus log base 3 x minus 2 equals 2. Yes, that looks much neater actually. Now we can use this formula. So I'm going to make these 2 terms of logs into 1. So log base 3 x squared all over x minus 2 equals 2. Okay, that looks much simpler than the question we start with. Now, what are we going to do now? I still have a log, because when I have a log, I can't find the x. So what am I going to do? Well, another formula you have to use. So in this, well, the very basic formula, you know, the very first one, changing into index to log to index form. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put log a, base a, and b, and n. Okay, that's our normal log form, like here. So a is my base, 2 is my n, which is the power, okay, and that's my answer. So hopefully you remember this. So I'm going to put this into, which formula color do I use? Okay, so here, this is my power index, and that's my solution answer. Okay, so what I'm going to do, that's my base. Okay, so I'm going to just write that down there. That's my base. Okay, so here it's my power, that's my base, that's my answer. So put that all into 1 here. So I'm going to go my base first, which is 3, and my power equals my answer, or my solution. position. There you go. It's not too bad. Now I'm going to swap this position because I normally like my x or unknown values to be on my left hand side. I'm used to that. So I'm going to change it. Like little things like this, changing things to the way you're used to, it's very important so that you will make less mistakes. Okay, so now I'm going to make this just equation without fraction. I don't like fraction. Okay, as soon as you see fraction, you should feel uncomfortable and have a desire to make it into not fraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to times by x minus 2 on both sides so that I can get rid of that. Okay, so when I do that, on my left hand side I only got x squared left because I've cancelled that out, but on my right hand side I've got my x minus 2 there. Okay, and I'm going to expand that, 9x minus 18. And I'm going to move everything to this side, make it into like sort of standard form, x squared. Now when I move my right hand side to the left, they are moving over to another part, so changing their sign, and the right hand side becomes 0. Now we know why we want x values, not just 1, it'll be 2 because it's quadratic. Excellent. So let's have a look at this. 18. Let's have a look. What are the factors of 18? Let's start with a 2 and 9. Now 2 and 9, can I make 2 and 9 with like into 9 somehow? No, I don't think so. Let's have a look at 3 and 6. That looks more promising. 3 and 6 suddenly can form 9. So I'm going to put 3 and 6 here. Now, when I add them together, it should be minus 9. So this part is my adding, the sum of part. And this is the product part. Okay, that's a product. So when I add them together, I should have a negative 9. But when I times it, I should have a positive 18. So therefore, if I got negative and negative here, I know when I add them together, I'll get minus 9. When I times them together, because a negative times negative becomes a positive, and 3 times 6 is 18. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put them into factorization form, factor form. Okay, which color should I use? Okay, pink. Okay, so let's have a look. I'm going to put it in a factor form. X minus 3, x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, so anything, now we have to find x values. So this times that has to be equal to 0. So therefore, we can say x minus 3 has to be 0, or x minus 6 has to be equal to 0. Either one of them need to be 0, because if you think about a times b equals 0, a has to be 0 or b has to be 0, isn't it? So when you do that, x equals 3, because only way you're going to get 0 is you're taking away yourself. And here, it's 6. Okay, so therefore, you have x values of 3 or 6. Okay, that's it. Well done.